Here we go again in the RealClearVote.com studios. We got your main man, the Codester, C.W. Martin. Here we go, starting episode number 4. Welcome in, everybody. We don't fade that song out, that little intro. Kind of budget you think this high fidelity operation is working with? What do you think about that? What's the possibility that this guy right here is just sitting home doing a one-man operation? What are the chances of that? Well, folks, another day is come and gone, and more news has been created. As always, there's always more news, a new news story, more stuff going on. So let's get right to it. We've got an interesting slate of topics for you this evening. In fact, the first topic isn't even on this website right now. And it asks, does it bother you that Coachella Music Festival now has more musical electronic acts than live musicians? What is the world coming to? Same's probably starting to become true at South by Southwest. Same's true for Bonnaroo, potentially. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. But enough of that. It's interesting. I'm not a antagonist of electronic music, but heck, I'm a bigger fan of live music with real musicians for sure. But that Paul Oakenfold, man, he's pretty good. I went to a show once with that guy and had a pretty good time. Not gonna name names. So anyway, my next question goes, how do you get a cheap ticket these days? What are the tricks of the trade? You ever want to know that one? I do. So here's what we do. We read this infographic. All right, so what goes into a plane? You got a bunch of factors in. Price your airline ticket depends on the following: your class, your competition on the route, your destination, your flight date and time, your types of passengers, the purchase date, and the seat supply and demand. So you got two types of travelers. You got your leisure, you got your business. If you're looking to make a deal on an airfare, I guess this could apply to either business or leisure, but if you're looking to make a trip and you can go on the less busy days, this is something to keep in mind. So not only are we looking at the types of travelers, but we're looking at whether they are refundable, if there's restrictions, blah, 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 all this stuff. Looks like there's different spots on the plane that they try and fill up first. Basically, they're running all kinds of different algorithms to get the cheapest flights, but I'll let you read that in your free time. But here we go. Your cheapest days are the slowest days. So if you fly on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Saturday, boom, book in advance. Go at a less convenient time. Don't book too early. That's one that might be a little counterintuitive. All right, so let's move it on. There you go. We got a comment there, informative. So do you know? My answer is I do now. So it looks like we got 100% agreement in the Real Clear Vote Nation. All right, now let's move it on to even a little bit lighter subject. How awesome or how awesome is not, or awesome not is Laura Croft. Well, she's pretty cool. She's done a lot of transformations and whatnot. Check out the infographic if you're interested. I'm going to let that one be for now. Here's an interesting post here. Did you know that there are 9 different types of special ops? There's 3 in the Air Force, there's 3 in the land, and there's 3 in the sea. But, of course, the SEALs are considered the most elite of the elite. But, in fact, these warriors have fewer members than the SEALs. And that group would be the pararescue. Only 500 troops that are actively involved as pararescue officers. So it says that this military, the only military group tasked with recovering the nation's lost warriors, pararescuers are a small unit and are trained to extract wounded troops in the most adverse conditions. Man, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's insane. I've heard of these guys going in to get SEALs. So you got to be a real bad dude if you're going in to rescue a SEAL. So in addition to these PJs, the other Air Force Special Ops are the AFSOC, which is the Air Force Special Operations Command. What they do is they conduct aerial surveillance, they deliver troops to combat zones, they resupply units behind enemy lines, and jam enemy TV and radio broadcasts during reconnaissance missions. This is the biggest special ops group, I believe, 18,000 troops. The third section of the Air Force Special Ops is the Night Stalkers. It's the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment. It's dedicated to transporting and recovering SEALs, MARSOC, Green Berets with precision and stealth, known for their expertise in covert nighttime missions. These guys are awesome. All right, let's move over to the land. Here we got the Green Berets, and those are Army Special Forces, 13,000 troops. These soldiers are trained in a variety of climates, terrains, and are expert skiers, mountaineers, and divers. They're the only group tasked with training allied foreign forces in combat tactics and specialize in multiple languages. Bad dudes. Now we've got the Army Rangers, the 75th Regiment. The familiar command, Rangers lead the way, is exemplary of what Army Rangers do best. This company goes into special operations missions first, clearing the way for the other service forces behind them. And they can be deployed anywhere in the world within 18 hours. There's 3,000 of these dudes. Bad dudes. You got the Delta Force. That's the final land trifecta to the special ops. And these are the Delta Force. They're the most clandestine of the special operation units. Delta Force, aka the unit, specializes in high-risk air, land, and sea missions. Each member of the Delta Force is capable of carrying out solo missions and are considered the best in close-quarter combat. There's only 1,200 of these guys. Elite of the elite. Now, finally, let's move back into the sea over here and check out what we've got is the Navy SEALs, the decorated group of highly publicized murder of capture and murder of none other than Osama bin Laden, terrorist. So SEALs are the maritime equivalent of the Army's Green Berets and are experts in hand-to-hand combat, high-altitude parachuting, demolitions, and capture of wanted people. They make up the top 1% of the U.S. Navy. We've got, and there's 2,400 of these awesome warriors. The second group of the sea is the SWCC, when that stands for Special Warfare Combat Craft Crewmen. The small team of operations drive well-armed and very fast boats in support of special operations missions, including stealthy insertion and extraction of SEALs, clandestine reconnaissance, and combat gunfire support. Only 600 of those guys. And finally, we've got the Marine Special Operations Command, the youngest of the Special Operations units. MARSOC specializes in the precision application of firepower, infiltration, counterterrorism, and information operations. It also excels in non-threatening dialogue with locals to gather information. There's 3,000 of those bad boys. So that's pretty sweet. Now, let's go ahead and move into another topic of great interest: cheese. Do you really know your cheese? Did you know looks like there's 4 different types of cheese coming from 4 different types of milk? You got your cow. That's the lion's share of your cheeses there. You got your goat. That's probably your second largest share, with about a quarter of your cheeses coming from goat milk. You've got your sheep cheese, and you've got a smaller but not insignificant amount of cheese coming from your buffalo milk. What is your favorite cheese? Ooh, love them all. Not all of them, but they're all pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Let's keep it going. So I've got a question for you, Real Clear Vote Nation. Do you know why light bulb executives are getting nervous? I'm talking the Jack Donaghy's, the GE execs are sitting up there going, what are we going to do? Because looky here, we've got a traditional incandescent light bulb lasting for 1,600 lumens and lasting a lifespan of 750 hours. But look at what we get here. The compact fluorescent is more energy efficient, cuts the wattage almost by a fifth, and it lasts for 10,000 hours. So you're not changing those bad boys very often, and they're pretty darn cheap. They're only $2. Now, there's another light bulb that's on the market that probably will get cheaper. Right now, it's $45 a bulb, and it doubles the lifespan to 20,000 hours. It's an LED bulb, but it's 45. So if that gets cheaper, you could really see some major problems going down for the light bulb business. All right, we've got some more stuff coming at you right now. We've got a question asking, do you know the 10 fastest highways on Earth? And I got that answer for you right now. Of course, you've got your Autobahn. That's the first one that should come to mind to most folks. Now, it says that the minimum speed of 37 miles per hour is imposed to ensure that slow vehicles stay off the highway. British Columbia, there's a speed limit of 75 miles per hour. Utah's got an 80 mile per hour speed limit. Poland's got an 87 mile per hour speed limit. The Autobahn, I should mention, has no speed limit. But all right, guys, that's gonna do it for today. We're gonna keep this podcast cranking, rocking, and rolling. But until then, y'all have a good night. Don't get in too much trouble now. One man show. False. This is a major production. Huge. I got sound engineers. Full Sail University graduates. Peace out.